So we've already set up our main process JavaScript that's creating a browser window here, and it's loading in index.html. And we're also setting a main application menu, and we're doing that in this main menu.js file. We just have a single top-level menu item, which is the application name, and then under it we have three menu items. We have say hello, save memory usage info, and open file. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the click handlers for each of these menu items, and each of them are going to open a different kind of dialog. So let's start by creating a file named dialogs.js. So first of all, let's require dialog, app, and native image from Electron. We'll also need fs from Node.js core, as well as path. So first let's implement a function that shows a message box in response to the user clicking that say hello menu item. So let's call this show message. So first thing we'll do dialog.show message box. This is just a basic informational dialog, kind of like an alert box in the browser, but you get a little bit more flexibility. So first thing we're going to do is we can pass the browser window here as a parameter, and we'll pass that here as the first parameter to show message box. On Mac OS, this makes the dialog modal. It makes it a sheet is the term that Mac OS uses. We'll see what that looks like later. It doesn't do anything on Windows, but we can still pass it anyways. So, and then we can pass some options here. First, we'll pass the type of our dialog, which will be info. Note on Mac OS, this doesn't change anything. On Windows, it changes the display of the dialog. It'll have a different icon, a little bit different appearance. We'll pass a custom icon as well. To do this, we're going to use the native image module. Native image is an Electron API that allows you to pass images easily between web and native UIs. So we'll call create from path on it. So you'll notice we have this kitten.jpg here in our folder. So we're just going to pass that. Also, this is ignored on Windows. This is a Mac OS only thing. So then we'll pass our message. We'll just call this hello. For our detail, this is the actual message body. Because we have a kitten icon, we'll say just a friendly meow. For our buttons is an array of strings. Our first button, we'll make a meow button, and we'll have a close button. And then the next parameter we'll pass is called default ID. Default ID is the index of the button that you want to have selected by default. So we have 0, so that's going to refer to this button. So it'll be kind of highlighted, and it'll kind of look like the default action that we want the user to take. Okay, and then we'll pass a callback here. And the first parameter it'll receive is a number, which represents the clicked index of the button that they clicked. So if they clicked meow, we get 0. If they click close, we get 1 here. The callback is optional actually for this function. If we don't pass a callback, we'll get this clicked index just from the return of this function. If we do that, then show message box becomes a synchronous API. We want it to be asynchronous, but either or works. So we're just going to log out the clicked index. Okay, so then let's export this. And let's jump back here to our main menu. We'll require in this show message function we just created from our dialogs.js, and then we'll call it here. Notice here we're passing our main window into our function that's setting up our template. And you can see here, that's where it's getting passed in. So we're just going to pass that along to our show message function. Let's test it out and see how it looks. We'll run our npm start script. Okay, so here's our menu that we set up. So here's our say hello menu item. So let's test that out. Oh, there it is. Hello. So we can see this is our kittens.jpg icon that's coming in correctly. This is the message property right here. And then this is the detail property, which is our message body. And we can see we have our two buttons here that we defined, close and meow. And the default ID, we set at 0 to be meow. We can see that's kind of selected by default. So if we click that, we can see that 0, that's the index that the user clicked, gets logged out. Let's try again with close. And we can see 1 is logged out there. Okay, and just to demonstrate what these dialogs look like in Windows, because there's a lot of minor cross-platform differences. This is our same application running in Windows 10. So let's see what say hello looks like. So we can see basically the same as Mac OS. Because it's an info dialog, it has a little eye icon there.